So the first company that's going to come up and talk to us today is Mihao has a company that is working on solving problems of security in wallets, and MatterFi is a leader in the space. We think it's very cool. We think that what they're doing is cutting edge. So we want everybody to learn about it. You can find this company on the DNA deal desk. So if you are interested in this company, after you leave here today, you can go to DNA deal desk and you can invest in this company. And actually, you can do that as low as $5,000, I think it is, right? So you don't have to spend $1 million on this. So you can invest into the company at lower levels, and your investment gets tokenized into an SPV that we manage. So we manage that SPV for you. So without further ado, Mihao, that's from MatterFi.
Hey guys, so I'm Mihao, and we're going to get right into the fun that's here. So what we're doing at ETHDenver is making Ethereum private and secure again for humans and AI, and that is a deliberate play on mega. Obviously, we just had a huge wake-up call. I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it's a really great illustrator for what our tech does and sort of stopping this sort of thing. So here is what happened, with Bybit, right? Oh, I have the biggest slide ever. This is so awesome. So, all right, when you log into an exchange, right? They do some KYC, you do some Web3, you get a username and password, and then they give you a random address and say, deposit your money here. And how do you know it's really their address? You don't, right? And when you do a withdrawal, the same thing happens. They say, hey, give me an address that we can send your money back to you. How do they know that that's really your address? And the answer is they don't, right? And then what happens on the back end is you've got these, a hot multi-sig wallet and a cold multi-sig wallet. And what Kim Jong-un's hackers did, they're really good at finding these three guys, right? They're always good at finding the guys that have the keys to your money. And they will spend an insane amount of cash on getting to those guys and hacking them, right? So what happened here is they basically UI tricked these guys into signing a transaction that wasn't valid, right? That transaction did not say, hey, you're transferring money from the cold wallet to the hot wallet. Here is its name. So the first thing we're going to do at MatterFi, which we're already doing, is we get rid of the random address. The random address no longer exists. And this is how 2.2 billion worth of dollars crypto got stolen already in 2025. And then here's how we're solving it. If you want to just put up the wallet for a second. There we go. And you want to scroll down. So this is a wallet that I built for our customer, Swiss Fortress, swissfortress.com. And you can scroll down here and you see that every transaction is a name, right? So what our wallets do, they automatically compute the counterparty's receive address. And it's totally private. So like if you have a name, what's your name? Anna. So your name is Anna. Then if you're using the Swiss Fortress wallet built by MatterFi, I can send you any crypto and all I need to know is your name. And my wallet will automatically compute your receive address and no one else knows what that computation is except you and me. So it's PayPal for all of crypto, fully private. And what that does is it also solves the Bybit problem because we can keep going back to the deck. Awesome. So that's a 2-second demo of the wallet. All right, next slide. There we go. Okay, so in our custody system, everything is sent to name. So Brinks is one of our customers, which I can announce that here. I can't announce it publicly, but this is Brinks Global, the same guys that do the armored cars, right? So we're the exclusive provider of digital custody tech to them because of this system. So in our system, this will be available as a SaaS. So enterprise will be able to sign up and have their assets stored at a Brinks vault via our digital tech that actually exists inside these vaults. And in our system, you actually deposit to a name. There's no address at all. You just deposit to the name. The name has a KYC proof, right? And then the second step is, okay, now you want to do something with your off-chain assets. So maybe you want to bid ask, maybe you want to trade, maybe you want to transfer to somebody else. Well, our wallets do that too, also with an off-chain cryptographic proof, meaning that the private key inside the wallet controls your off-chain funds as well as your on-chain funds. And then the withdrawal is really magical because now you sign your withdrawal instrument with your private key, and this system automatically knows who to send the money back to, computes your address just like I did in your example, and you just get the cash back. So all the theft and fraud from address phishing in our system is completely gone. It's not possible. at all anymore. So all the billions that are lost, they're not lost if you're using MatterFi. And then this system, it runs in pure multisig, but the HSMs understand these cryptographic proofs. So notice there's no people here. You don't need people to have keys and control over stuff because the hardware security modules directly understand the end user's instructions, meaning that you don't need a person to approve anything. The computer just does it. So when you do that, next slide, you've now solved the Bybit hack. Kim Jong-un can't get your money. Rocket Man can't do it because you see here, there's no people for him to target. And we've also solved this address phishing. So all the lesser hackers in the world that are just trying to phish you, like, hey, send money here because we're the official Binance, right? Like you get how many messages of that do you get a day? Like everybody in crypto gets like 2 or 3, right? So we've solved that problem. We've solved the people that can be compromised to steal your money, insiders included FTX, right? We've solved that problem. And then we've even solved the problem of the cold wallet because with the off-chain cryptographic proofs, I can make the hardware wallet understand what's happening. So now, if they deploy the system, and we're having all these conversations with the people involved, if Bybit deployed the system, their ledger would say, hey, do you want to transfer X amount of Ethereum from the cold address called so-and-so to your hot address called so-and-so? By the way, user A and B, whose names are this and this, already signed, do you want to do it? Meanwhile, if the attacker's message got in there, the wallet would just say, invalid transaction, do not sign. And $1.5 billion would not have been stolen, period, right? So now let me tell you why we're awesome, why you should invest in MatterFi. We make software wallets, hardware wallets, if that wasn't enough, right? Software wallets, hardware wallets, AI agents, and custody systems. And this is on my personal mission. I've been a hacker since I was 15, white hat. I worked for the government. I basically made rich people richer and more powerful people even more powerful. And ultimately, for the end user, it's about safety, accessibility, and trust, right? We want to create that in a decentralized space. So let me go back. We make the Matter wallet an AI agent, the custody system, which I just explained to you, and hardware wallet cards as well. They're all white labels. This is like the Uber version of Tangem. In fact, it is the Tangem card, the Tangem hardware, but it's with our software on it. And Brinks is our biggest customer. They've already verbally made an offer to buy us. They want to wait to see if the tech really works, but then we're sold. So like from an investment point of view, all I have to do is just deliver. Like that's what I have to do. Like straight up, I just got to deliver to the end of the year and this company's going to the moon. And I'm very, 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 very sure about that. Here is our private AI agent for secure crypto transactions. I'll be talking more about that on the AI panel later today. This is an independent agent that runs your machine because we don't want like the cloud to have access to your money, obviously. And here is like the quick story about what we're doing. We're a self-custodial wallet company, so we're Trezor, Ledger. We're institutional custody, so we're Fireblocks. We're send to name, except not broken. So Unstoppable, for example, that's not private. That's why it's not getting a ton of adoption. I am trying to help them right now to actually get through that and make all the Unstoppable names private. And obviously, you also have to have some chat. So inside our wallet, you got encrypted chat, you got a hardware wallet, you got KYC proofs end to end, so you can meet all the regulatory requirements, but it's all decentralized. So our market size is pretty big because it's all the money that's ever you want to steal. Like we're here to protect it all, right? So there's a lot of enterprises in this space. We think we could take down 100 million over the next 2 years. And here are some really excellent reasons to invest in this. We already raised $5 million at various. We started at 20 million. Then 30 million. Now we're at 200 million with a 50% discount, down to 100 for the first 3 million. Why is it 3 million? Because I know that's the amount of money I need exactly to deliver all this stuff in production. That's it. We're this close, right? So we recruited the dream team. We have the CTO from IOHK is our CTO. We're signing up a really big ecosystem right now. Of all the Ethereum L2s to support this infrastructure. I'm working on that with Rock from LDA, who's right here. We've done 2 million in revenue, and we have a live beta at SwissFortress.com that you can download immediately. And we have 15 different inventions on 9 different pending patents, of which now the very first are about to get granted. So I'm just waiting on the notice of allowance from the USPTO. There is no such other tech in the world. And what's our business model? Well, we can make you a cold wallet. Sorry, we can make you a white label cold or hot wallet, right? We generally, those clients spend about $300,000. Then we've also got the assets under management build custody system, and we've got the name sales. So every time somebody wants to join the ecosystem, they got to buy a name. If you want to reserve your name, because we're doing the name sale right now, you go to SwissFortress.com, which is our biggest client right now. And how much time do I have? Oh, okay, I still got like 10 minutes, man. I feel like I've been up here for half an hour. All right, so go-to-market strategy. Brinks is a partner, Equify is a partner. Another partner that's really interesting, if you go to SwissFortress.com and you reserve a name, you'll see Lufthansa's on there. Because for every dollar you spend on a name, you'll earn Lufthansa miles and more. It's the only such partnership in the world where like a mainstream company is doing business with a crypto company. So yeah, instant more miles if you reserve a name. That's SwissFortress.com. And then here's our financials. We're about 2 million right now. 2025, I think, is going to be a really good year for us in terms of revenue. So yeah, I'm happy about that. And then here's what our where our ask is. So right now we're at 100 million valuation, 50% discount to 200 million. We're raising 3 million on the deal desk, and I think I gave you all the great reasons why to invest. Any questions? Team is important.
So for distribution of this, what do you mentioned Unstoppable. What's your strategy to get people to use the Send a Name?
So the Send a Name is available in two ways. So Rock, great question. He's not an audience plant, I promise. That's actually a really good question. So the Send a Name is available via API. So say if you're a MetaMask and you want the wallet to use Send a Name, you can basically just get our API, and we charge you almost nothing for that. And the wallet will now work and resolve names, right? So the whole point of the API is to be able to turn names into addresses, right? So because this entire system, like all the stuff I showed you, it actually works on chain. We're not changing the chains. There's no like, secret, extra thing I have to put on Bitcoin to make this work on Bitcoin. It's just the wallets know how to compute your receive addresses. So you don't have to telegram your bro or any of that. So all those hacks are gone, and all that ease of use is here, right? So two ways to get that. One is in the wallet we make, or I give you the API, and then you can just do that in your ecosystem. So there's actually a lot of that activity happening right now. It's one of the main reasons I'm here, is to get more API adoption. And really, it's fairly early. This was only really ready about 3 months ago. So it's not like, we've been at this forever. I'm trying to go fast. I like to go fast. Fail fast and succeed even faster. Next question. Equity versus token. Okay, so MatterFi is a US Wyoming C Corp. It's on the deal desk, and there is a token rider in there in case we do issue a token. What I'm waiting on to happen in the States is the actual deregulation. If you watched Trump Jr.'s speech yesterday, it's like he pretty much said it, look guys, I'm sorry it didn't happen in the first month, because I know that before I wasn't in the administration anymore, I was supposed to, we're supposed to do this quickly. But I think it's happening, right? So essentially, if you're an equity investor in MatterFi, you're also going to get some of the token. But if you really love tokens, then the place to go is SwissFortress.com, because we have to run the infra somewhere. There is a token behind that infra. The users don't know about it. The users just buy a name. They'll buy a name for $10 a year or $50 a year, depending kind of how cool the name is. And then we use that token to secure the infra. The infra lives on these L2s and the various chains that we're supporting. So chains that are highly likely to be supported is Cardano, Definity, because these are all things that we're working on, essentially, right? And when a chain supports the infra, that doesn't mean that I can only send tokens on that chain. It's that it's basically another copy of the infra that lets you send the money anywhere, any crypto anywhere, right? So if you really like tokens, Swiss Fortress is the place to go, and that is also available on the deal desk, because we're going to do the SEX launch in May, and we've had this crazy amount of retail demand. I know everybody tells me that's retail token sales are dead, but today I can tell you we made a lot of money off token sales. People love the project. They love the privacy that we're putting together. So it's been doing really, really well. And essentially all the KOLs, all the people that are promoting it are demanding that it goes on a DEX. And when it goes on a DEX, it'll be 4x the price it is right now on deal desk. So if you want a token exit and you want it soon, and you just like tokens, then SwissFortress.com is the place to go on the DNA deal desk. Yes.
The write-up you did about the hack on Twitter, you should share that. Make sure everybody reads that. It was really good.
Oh, okay. So I have a fan in the audience. Also not a plant, but he's the consigliere of the very first investor at MatterFi. So he knows about the project. But I did put up, I'm actually putting up another video about the Bybit hack where I break it down. I basically take those diagrams that I just went through and I go through it in super detail about how exactly that happened. But we stopped that dead. Thank you.
Thank you.